when we're trying to ask about his health and things like that, he very quickly shuts it down and asks about us, and I can kind of understand why now.
Qasim, did he ever want you or Suleiman to be cricketers or politicians?
No, definitely not. He taught us cricket from a very young age. I'd say I was a very good young cricketer. But he said himself I was that we didn't quite have the passion. And when you're someone who had that cricketing passion when he was his age, I think seeing in us any sort of waiver, he probably thought there's no point them being middling cricketers. And then when we went to school, I think we didn't quite have the same competition as his kind of 5 cousins who were playing international cricket. In terms of politics, me and Suleiman both have been completely off-put by any sort of politics. Seeing our grandfather, our uncle on our English side and him on the Pakistani side go through a lot of chaos, and I'd rather keep my life to myself, and I wouldn't really want to be in the public eye as much as I have been, but sometimes needs must, I guess.
Yeah, needs must. And thank you for talking and for telling us and reminding us all that your father is in prison and the UN is calling for him to be properly and humanely dealt with and to have all his legal rights and his dignity as well. So thank you, Qasim. And we're going to talk to one of your father's former ministers, Zulfikar Bukhari, who's also now... Does he give you fatherly advice, or less, even in those short minutes that you get to speak to him?
Absolutely. I mean, he seemed annoyed at times, maybe. He's never seemed down. He's always been kind of his usual, a powerful kind of upbeat self who's giving us life lessons and a lot of personal advice. He's always asking about what we're doing. He gives direction on our lives and how we can kind of improve ourselves and what we should read and what we should do and how we should practice and all of those things. So he packs as much of a lesson in those 20 minutes, and he tries to divide it between me and Suleiman as much as he can. But I'm not surprised that he's able to be upbeat in a way, because those are the small 20-minute periods of joy between months and months and months of not being able to speak to us. So, when we're trying to ask about his health and things like that, he very quickly shuts it down and asks about us, and I can kind of understand why now.
Qasim, did he ever want you or Suleiman to be cricketers or politicians?
No, definitely not. He taught us cricket from a very young age. I'd say I was a very good young cricketer. But he said himself I was
of the world. I mean, your father is well known all over the world, and in my introduction I said he was probably the most famous Pakistani in the history of the Pakistani state, and remains so. His name is still a very, very well-known name, even though he's out of sight. Are you getting support, I don't know, from the cricket? What are you hearing? Any support at all from outside?
We did get support from a number of cricket captains, so from the sport world, yes. Occasionally we get, a comment here and there from, certain people in politics, but nothing major. And nothing that's moved the needle in any kind of significant way. Every time there is kind of people speaking out about what's going on over there, there's a small moment, a glimmer of hope for us. And I've quickly learned that it diminishes pretty quickly, and people move on to other things going on in the world. So realistically, it needs kind of major action from someone. But I would look at people like Trump, who our father had a great relationship with. I understand that, when you have the current people in power in Pakistan offering Nobel Peace Prizes and cryptocurrencies and natural minerals to him, it makes sense from a business perspective to just say, okay, fine, these are the new people who rule Pakistan, but these are crooked people, they're criminals who have no respect for rule of law and no honor whatsoever. That they won't honor their deals the way that our father would, and I know that, not from a personal perspective, but he's a man who really believes in rule of law, on democracy, and on fair dealings. And so I just hope that someone who is in a position of power is able to see that ridding Pakistan of these criminals will do good for the world.
And finally, before I let you...
The pettiness is incredible in terms of... They showed the 1992 World Cup that he was the captain for Pakistan, where he won, and they don't have a single shot of him lifting the trophy or anything on him. They managed to blur him out of those, even those instances. So they're trying to eradicate him, which is, very, very evidently, but it's an impossible thing to do when an entire country is behind him. I think there's, over 95% support for him. And the rigging in the last election was as obvious as you can possibly make rigging, with kind of over 100% turnouts in provinces and things like that. So it doesn't take a lot to see what they're trying to do. And I wouldn't say they're successful in eradicating him, but they're definitely causing a toll on the people of Pakistan and me and my brother in a separate way.
Are you aware of support from other parts